Chapter 14. Interdependence in Environment. We will learn about components of environment, food chain, dependence of biotics and abiotics, balance in nature. Everything we see around us is a part of our environment. For example, living things such as animals, plants and non-living things such as table, chair, desk, etc. All the living things need air, water and land to survive. Components of environment. Our environment consists of two components, biotic and abiotic. Let us know about them. Biotic components. All the living things found on the earth are called biotic components of the environment. Human beings, plants, animals and even the microorganisms that can be seen through microscope only form the biotic components. Abiotic components. The non-living things found on the earth are called abiotic components of the environment. Soil, water, air, minerals, etc. form the abiotic components. Dependence of biotics and abiotics. All the living and non-living things are interdependent. More specifically, all the living things are closely interconnected with the non-living things. Dependence of plants on abiotic components. Air, water and light are abiotic components and plants need them to grow. So, plants depend on abiotic components of the environment. Similarly, other living things too depend on their environment. They depend on the environment for food, water and air. Dependence of animals on plants. Like human beings, animals also depend on plants for food and shelter. Squirrels make holes called rays in the trunks of trees. Monkeys, koala, sloth, etc. live on the branches of trees. Birds build their nest in trees. Zebras, elephants, giraffes, deer, etc. live under the shade of the trees. Many insects build their homes on trees and in the roots of the trees. On the basis of feeding habits, animals are divided into three groups. 1. Herbivores. Animals which eat only plants are called herbivores. Example, deer, giraffe, zebra, elephant, etc. 2. Carnivores. Animals which eat flesh of other animals are called carnivores. Example, lion, tiger, crocodile, cheetah, etc. 3. Omnivores. Animals which eat both plants and flesh of other animals are called omnivores. Example, human being, bear, crow, etc. All the animals depend on plants directly or indirectly. Let us understand. As we can see above, the goat eats plants and the lion eats the goat. The goat's survival relies on the availability of plants. If there are no plants, the goat will not survive. And if the goat will not survive, what will the lion eat? It will not get any flesh to eat and will die soon. So, all the animals directly or indirectly depend on plants for sustenance. It also shows that the biotic components are linked with each other. So, it is essential to maintain a proper balance among the components of the environment. Food chain. A food chain represents the sequence of events in an ecosystem where one organism consumes another and subsequently that organism becomes the food for a larger creature. This flow of nutrients and energy between organisms constitute a food chain. The food chain begins with green plants. Green plants are called the producers as they make their own food. Plants are consumed by herbivores, so they are called the primary consumers. All herbivores are eaten up by the carnivores and omnivores, so they are called the secondary consumers. When carnivores die, bacteria and fungi feed on their dead bodies. So these fungi and bacteria are called decomposers. They break down the dead animals into nutrients. These nutrients get mixed with the soil and are again used up by the plants. This process continues forever. Balance in nature. Look at the given food chain. If all the eagles are killed, it will increase the population of snakes. As the number of snakes increases, this will decrease the population of frogs. As we see, snakes feed on frogs. Now, the less population of frogs will increase the population of grasshoppers. We know that the grasshoppers are herbivores and they eat up all the plants and food crops soon. So, all living beings, including humans, will get affected. Thus, we see that the disturbance in any part of the food chain would disturb the balance in nature. Maintaining balance in nature. To make our earth a safer place to live in, we must maintain the balance in nature. We should follow these steps to maintain balance in nature. There should be a heavy penalty on the factories and vehicles which release smoke and ashes. Our government should ban the cutting of trees. We should encourage all people to grow more and more trees. Our government has started programs like the Van Mahotsav and social forestry. In these programs, people grow trees on wastelands. Our government has set up many national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and tiger reserves in different parts of our country. We are not allowed to kill wild animals here. That is why the population of wild animals has increased remarkably in these parks and sanctuaries. Some of the important national parks and wildlife sanctuaries of India: Knowledge Hunter. Factories in the city of Bengsi in China make so much smoke that the city is invisible to satellites. Breathing the air in Mexico City is thought to be as harmful as smoking 40 cigarettes a day. Keywords: biotic, living things; abiotic, non-living things; interdependent, dependent on each other; decomposers, microorganisms that break down dead animals into nutrients. I should remember, everything around us is a part of our environment. The living things on the earth are called biotic components. The non-living things on the earth are called abiotic components. All the living and non-living things are interdependent. Plants are the source of food for all animals. Balance in nature is essential for the survival of all living beings.